So hey everyone, today I'm going to share you 5 tips using that you can crack any of the interview. The very first tip is that you need to prepare short notes for the interview. A lot of time what happen whenever you are giving any of the interviews, you don't have any material from where you can revise quickly, okay? Either you have to visit to coding window, either you have to scroll more, either you have to turn many of the pages. So you should always have a short note, let's suppose a 15 or 20 pages notes that includes or that concludes everything which you needed for the interview. Now moving to the second tip, listen carefully and ask doubt. What happen whenever an interviewer asks you a question? What happen as a fresher, we directly love to jump on the conclusion. We don't hear them carefully, okay? We feel like, oh yes, I know this question, I can easily give the solution, and we start giving the solution instead of listening the question carefully or letting the interviewer complete his question. Sometimes you miss some of the points, because of that you score less. So listen the question carefully, and if you still have any doubt, don't have a fear, ask them again, am I correct, okay? Or am I understanding correct? You can ask them twice, even if you are not getting his voice or her voice, the interviewer voice, that sorry, I'm unable to hear you completely. Can you repeat the questions once again? Because a lot of time I have seen this, whenever the candidates are giving interview, if they are unable to hear the voice of the interviewer, they have the fear whether we should ask or how to ask them, that their voice is not coming, or from their background a lot of noise is coming. Because of that a student is not able to hear. This happened in some of the interviews. Usually the interviewer will take care of this, right? They are in the silent environment, they'll ensure this, but sometimes it can happen. So you can ask them again, you can make them understand what is happening. If this is clear to you, we can move to the third tip, that is improving your communication skill. No matter which interview you are giving, communication skill is the very important requirement of each and every job. That is very much important for anything, either internal discussion, either client discussion, either for anything. It is believed that a person with good communication skill, he can handle the things smoothly, and of course their accessibility will be high, okay? Because they have smooth communication, so they can access more people easily. So communication skill is very important. You should read books, you should watch web series, okay, that too in English language, because you know English is the common language that is used for interview, okay? So you have to prepare in that. Now moving to the next tip, which is maintaining the flow. So a lot of time what happened whenever a student is giving an interview, and especially for the first or second time, so they have a lot of inbuilt fear, okay? They have the fear of interview because they are giving it for the first time. So in that scenario, let's suppose interviewer is asking some question. So if you have answered initial question in a proper way, your confidence will be very high. But if you are unable to answer the initial question of the interview, your confidence will go very low. You will feel that I was unable to answer the initial question, now how I'll able to answer. You feel like kind of having a little fear during the interview. But you need to maintain the flow. Your confidence should be very high, no matter you are able to answer the question or unable to. You can simply communicate to the interviewer. Let's suppose if the interviewer is asking any question and you don't know anything, you don't have any clue. So you can simply tell to the interviewer that sorry, I think I haven't learned about this topic, but surely after the interview I'll have a look. अगर आपको कोई चीज़ पूरी नहीं आ रही होगी, तो as per my knowledge, this is the answer. या तो अगर आप confident हो तो, but obvious you can answer it properly. Anyhow, you should maintain your flow. Don't be like sometimes like if you are answering the question, initial questions you answered very well, your confidence is very high during the interview. You didn't answer 2-3 questions, now your confidence is going this level, okay? Maintain it. Ultimately, if you are giving the good interview or bad interview, ultimately the result is not in your hand. You're not gonna decide that you're gonna get selected or not. Ultimately, the person in front of you who is taking your interview, he or she gonna decide whether you're gonna get hired or not. So what I believe, I don't know that you at that particular moment you are prepared or not, you are having good communication or good technical skills or not. The one thing you can have, that is confidence. The confidence, at least for that you don't need to be prepared. Now it is wisely said that the confidence comes up with the preparation. If you are like very much prepared, you will be more confident. But even in the scenario, if you are not prepared, ultimately result is not in your hand. So give the interview smoothly. Now moving to the last tip, which is very much important, that is collecting feedback. So once the interview is completed, either the interviewer will ask you that if you have any questions, you can ask to us. And if he's still not asking, you can ask them the feedback of the interview. You can simply ask them that, sir, can you tell me that what are the things I need to work upon or I need to improve so I can make myself better. You should not ask how was my interview, which of the questions I answered correctly or which of the question I answered wrong. Don't ask specific things, okay? Not interview related things. Just simply ask them, can you give me some feedback which can help me to improve myself so I can perform well in the coming interviews. So see, what I believe, once you collect 3, 4, 5 interviews feedback, now you are ready to like crack any interview, because these feedbacks which was contributing in not getting selected. So once you work on these key points you collected from the interviewer, now this will help you to get selected. Already you got the feedback from 3 to 4 interviews, and now this is more than enough. Already you know what are the things like you have to work upon. You have already worked on that, and now you are good to go. So collecting feedback from the interviews, that is very much important. At the end of the day, you should always learn from your interview, okay? And that is very much important. Or whatever questions they have asked, you should note it down, and you should make sure the questions you are unable to answer, okay? You got confused or you didn't answer properly, you are like getting better in those questions in the next interview, okay? You should be prepared for those questions, okay? You should make sure that after the interview you should resolve those doubts. So this is what my suggestion to you guys. Like again, if you have your own experiences, you can contribute in the comment section how a person can crack interview. And if you want to connect me for any discussion or doubts, you can connect me through one-to-one counseling. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments as well. So this is for now guys. Let's meet in the next video. Till the time, bye bye everyone, and thank you everyone.